Thank you for joining me for my 34th weekly live stream. Glad you could be here today. Gonna jump right in. Let's go to Ireland.
The room over the bar has a funny kind of smell. Your feet stick to the carpet. What it is, you cannot tell. Curtains, you can't close them. Toilet won't stop running. Lights that kind of flicker. There's a banging in the plumbing. Room over the bar, number 213. Not particularly large, not particularly clean. It's supposed to be a king bed, but it's not even a queen. On the nightstand are some dusty and outdated magazines. The one without a view. Can't open up the window, there's no light coming through. There's a great big concrete wall, you can look at it if you want. The rooms that have a view, they're all around the front. The room over the bar is the one they give musicians. It's the one they haven't fixed up, cause it's only for musicians. There's at least a couple burn marks on almost everything. You lie down on the bed and you feel each one of the springs. You'll find hairs on the sheets, broken down remote, you can't turn off the heat. Towels, small as a washcloth in the shower that just dribbles. TV with 3 channels on the ceiling on a swivel. Room over the bar, you hear everything below. All sorts of filthy language, must be where all the cussers go. Some words I never heard before, some I've not heard since. Feels to feel myself, but 1 or 2 of them made me wince. There's a guitar player below. He's got people singing all the songs that people know. Sound is all distorted and it's turned up way too loud. There's some really awful singing going on there in the crowd. Room over the bar, it's never gonna close. You got to get up early, but it's just the way it goes. They quit serving at midnight, but the last one leaves at 4. Then they toss and turn for a couple hours more. Room over the bar has a funny kind of smell. Your feet stick to the carpet, what it is, you cannot tell.
Well, I hope it's sunny and beautiful wherever you might be, like it is here today in Asheville, North Carolina. Here's a baseball song for you.
Around the phenom cameras flash, and when he just plays catch, way off down the third base line, the fan has things for him to sign. Spotlight follows him around. Same thing in every town. Journalists and TV crews, articles and interviews. Senior year, not even old enough to drink a beer. Hit 100 on the radar gun. With a change-up there was 91. Even charted in graft. And he was the first pick of the draft. $30 million guaranteed. Whether or not the kid ever succeeds, his teammates draw $1,000 a month. Sometimes the phenom picks up the tab for lunch. Oh, you can't blame him, it's not his fault. The team was willing to open the vault. No question that the kid can pitch. Someday he might make all of them rich. On this kid they bet the farm. Him and his 24-carat arm. Now every hiccup is a cause for alarm. You better not step on the foul line. You better rub your lucky charms. Phenom drives a luxury car along the road to being a star. And there's a guy in every neighborhood bar showing off his elbow scar. Oh, he can't miss, say the analysts. No one's ever seen anything like this. A dying man had one last wish. It was to live to see the phenom pitch. Sometime around the end of May, they called him up to Double A. And it was the same night or day, rain or shine, home or away. Every game is a sellout crowd. The kid keeps getting the batters out. The talk show callers all say so. The phenom's ready for the show. Yeah, the talk show callers all say so. Phenom's ready for the show.
I want to go back to Ireland. There's a lovely village called Clonakilty in the west part of County Cork. And there's a venue there called DeBarra's Folk Club. And I'll show you a picture of it. This is it from the outside. Here's a picture of the front bar. The music room was in the back. And there's the stage. And I've played DeBarra's many times over the years. And on one such night, a fella by the name of Johnny came up to me at the end of the show when we were sitting in that front bar, winding down. And he asked me if I would write a song for him about something that had happened earlier in the day. And I told him I could not promise a song, but I'd certainly hear him out. And I'd give it the old college try. And so this song is called Claire and Johnny. I did not change the names of the characters, and sometimes I wonder if maybe I should have, because I came back to DeBarra's about a year later, and I sang this song, and everybody in there knew exactly which Claire and which Johnny this song was about.
loves Johnny. Johnny, he loves Claire. Of all the places we could start, it's as good as any right there. Johnny signed the orders. They took his lovely Claire. They're gonna make her better. It was more than he could bear. What other options were there? What else could Johnny do? She was the most beautiful woman that Johnny ever knew. But Claire sometimes got ugly. She had Johnny in a vice, and she could get so mean all of a sudden after being so nice. Claire, she loves Johnny, and Johnny, he loves Claire. But the way she was behaving, Johnny, he got scared. Sometimes it would be hours. She would sit and stare, and some voice that wasn't hers would speak, but she just wasn't there. But Johnny felt so low down, he needed cheering up. He had to get out of the house, so he headed for the pub. And that's where we got to talking. We had a pint or two, and he asked if I might write a song about it. I said I'd see what I could do. But Claire, she loves Johnny, and Johnny, he loves Claire. Even with her cussing at him, Lord, how she could swear. Even with her throwing things, some they really hurt. And even when she'd speak those unspeakable words, Claire, she's being cared for. They keep her in a room under medication. Every day she's groomed. Sometimes she notices the flowers among whatever else she sees. Then she'll turn to Johnny and ask, who brought me these? Claire, she loves Johnny, and Johnny, he loves Claire. Although she may deny it, said what Johnny did was not fair. She tells Johnny she hates him. He strokes her lovely hair.
Johnny. If you're watching me on Facebook and you would like to follow me, all you have to do is look for that little bell-shaped icon at the top of the screen there. Click on it. It'll give you a couple of different options. That way, if you're on Facebook on a Sunday, when I start to live stream, you'll get a sudden notification. Also, if you're interested in picking up any of my CDs, the CDs themselves are available through chuckbrodsky.com. And if you're interested in digital downloads, you can go to bandcamp.com, where all of my music is available on a pay whatever you want to basis. And I did that specifically for anybody that might be having a hard time with the COVID shutdown, anybody that might be currently unemployed or underemployed. If you enjoy my music, I want you to be able to still have it. And if you can afford to pay for it, pay any amount that you like. So many of you know that one of my favorite things to do every year is to go up to Harbor Springs, Michigan for the Lamb's Retreat for Songwriters, where everybody there, including the teachers, is given a songwriting assignment. You have 48 hours to write that song, and on Sunday, just before the retreat ends, everybody gathers and plays the songs that they just wrote. Well, I was asked one year to write a song about dancing. The gist of the assignment was that I was in some kind of a formal ball setting and sitting at a table, and a woman taps me on the shoulder and asks if I'd like to dance. Well, I don't dance. I mean, I have 3 left feet. I cannot dance. But I had to write this song. And so, this song is called 2 Left Feet, even though I have 3.
There was one certain girl I was hoping to meet. Would have asked her to dance, but for my 2 left feet, she wasn't sitting with anyone else. I was just sitting there all by myself and said, I didn't dance, I had 2 left feet. To this other girl standing over me in my seat. Besides, it really wasn't my kind of beat. This wasn't the girl I was hoping to meet. I wasn't attracted, not on first glance. She wouldn't go away, I didn't want to dance. She lifted me up to my 2 left feet. My eyes went for the girl I was hoping to meet. Well, I was thinking I should make a break for the door. She pulled me out there onto the dance floor. The band started in on an old-fashioned waltz. She didn't lead, so I did by default. It was awkward enough, those very first steps. Stepped on her right toes, then on her left. Evading her eyes, tried to be discreet. Keeping tabs on the girl I was hoping to meet. Up to the small of my back, touching a nerve, I shot her a glance. She said, I thought you told me that you couldn't dance. She pointed down at my right foot, found all the right places, wherever I'd put it. She followed me when I spun her around, and when I dipped her all the way down, the way her hair fell back and hung to the floor. The way we locked eyes then and forevermore. The thing about beauty, and I don't know why, but sometimes you don't see it till it pokes you in the eye. And one song ended and another began. We exchanged changed names and applauded the band. I guess they never did let go of her hand. For the next couple hours, we danced and we danced, and now we go out dancing every Saturday night. She dresses up, she's quite a sight. This was the girl I didn't want to meet, but that was the guy with the two left feet.
Now I want to sing you a song that I have not been able to sing for a few weeks, so a couple of months actually. It's a song about my very favorite baseball player of all time, a man by the name of Dick Allen, known when I was a kid as Richie Allen. There he is. Now, the Philadelphia fans would boo Dick Allen when he'd come up to bat when I was a kid. Now, I didn't understand all that much about racism back then, but Dick Allen, the year before the Phillies called him up to the major leagues, played for their farm club in Little Rock, Arkansas. This was only 20 years after Jackie Robinson. And Dick Allen, not even 20 years, and Dick Allen was the very first African American to cross Arkansas's color line. He was subject to some of the worst abuse you could ever imagine. And in 1964, when he was promoted to the major leagues, was the Rookie of the Year that year in the National League, by the way. He thought that kind of stuff was behind him, but unfortunately, as everybody knows, racism rears its ugly head, even to this day, all too regularly. The fans would boo Dick Allen. He was their best player. He was a home run hitter, but he also struck out a lot, and they would boo him. And his response to this was to wait until he was back out in the field on defense. He played first base, and he would write words like boo in the dirt right back at the fans. Now, the fans were pretty ticked off, by the way, because in 1964, the Phillies had a 6.5 game lead with 12 games left to play. And they printed these. Thanks, Chip. Prematurely printed World Series tickets. The Phillies collapsed in an epic way and did not make the World Series. So, I want to show you something else here that's pretty interesting. I actually have a file at the Baseball Hall of Fame. You can see I'm in the same row as Lou Brock. Now, I brought this up because I got a chance to meet Dick Allen in person about 26, 27 years ago when I had been invited to the Baseball Hall of Fame to do a concert. And I have had a long and wonderful relationship with the National Baseball Hall of Fame. I have one more Dick Allen photo to show you. Wash your hands. So I wrote this song for my dad. Dick Allen passed away 2 months ago. And I'll say it. He should have been elected into the National Baseball Hall of Fame by now. And it's very sad that he never got to see this, wasn't still alive. Hopefully, the next time they vote, he will get in.
Well, me and you, we never booed Richie Allen. And I never understood why people did. He hit a homer every time he stepped up to the plate. That's what I remember as a kid. Richie in the field out there by first base, the target of some mighty foul words. With with his shoes he'd scrawled between the pitches. Boo, great big letters in the dirt. Well, Philly fans, they've been known to get nasty. When Joe must go, they run him out of town. I saw Santa get hit by a snowball, then get hit again when he was down. Well, me and you, we never booed Richie Allen, even if he did sometimes strike out. I was too young to read the papers, to know what all that booing was about. Well, that big collapse of '64, it was ugly. They blew a lead of 6 1/2 games with 12 to play. Some might say their fans were justifiably angry. World Series tickets printed up in vain. Printed up in vain. Philly fans, they've been known to get nasty. When Joe must go, they run him out of town. I saw Santa get hit by a snowball, then get hit again when he was down.
I had the privilege and the pleasure of meeting Mr. Dick Allen back when I was invited to do a concert at the Baseball Hall of Fame, and Dick Allen happened to be working for the Phillies at the time, and I was tipped off to the fact that he was in Cooperstown on some kind of baseball business while I was there too. So I went over to the hotel he was staying at with the intention of leaving a copy of the CD with this song on it at the front desk. And I was hoping they'd be nice enough to pass it on to him. But when I walked in the lobby door, Dick Allen was down there in the lobby in the middle of a conversation with somebody else. So I just waited patiently, and when they were finished, I approached him and told him I'd grown up watching him play, and that even to this day he's still my favorite player of all time. Told him I'd written the song, and I pulled the CD out of my coat pocket and handed it to him, and totally blew his mind. And while he was standing there looking down at the CD in his hands, it occurred to me that there was a photograph in the booklet that would be fun to show him. So I asked for the CD back, and I took the shrink wrap off, and I pulled the booklet out and showed him the photo of the word boo in the dirt that we had composed for this. And I was hoping I'd get a little reaction, you know. But I was not at all prepared for the tear that I saw roll down his cheek.
This was before the days of the $1 million contracts, and before the days of the artificial grass. He stood a bit outside the lines, which made him fair game for those times. 'Cause Richie Allen, he never kissed the white man's ass. Well, me and you, we never booed Richie Allen. No, we'd pound our mitts and we'd yell, we want a hit. How could they call a guy a bum after he just hit a home run? That didn't make any sense to a kid. Well, I've since found out all these years later. Now I know a lot more than I did. And if back then you knew, Daddy, why all those other people would. Thanks for letting me have my heroes as a kid.
And now it's time for that part of the show that I like to call Puck View. Today's featured puck is from Odense, Denmark, and this is a puck belonging to the Odense Bulldogs. Thank you to my friend Jakob. Let's see here.
Ashes from the wood stove filling up the bucket, spilling out the top, so women gonna chuck it. Take it out the back door to where I never mow. Find a little spot that no one will ever go. Gonna take it out back, dump it in the river. Take it out back and throw it in the woods. Take it out back and chuck it down the hillside. Keep the front yard looking good. That old TV quit on me, brother, 10 years ago, so I got me another. First one sitting out by the porch swing with the fridge and the stove and a bunch of other things. Gonna take 'em out back, dump 'em in the river. Take 'em out back and throw 'em in the woods. Take 'em out back and chuck 'em down the hillside. Keep the front yard looking good. That rusted old car, it's got no motor. If it had any gas, I would try to explode her. Hubcaps, hoods, and old transmissions. Take them to the river, gonna make for good fishing. Gonna take them out back, dump them in the river. Take them out back and throw them in the woods. Take them out back and chuck them down the hillside. Keep the front yard looking good. It's all turned green, and the chicken bones that have been picked clean. Some on the counter, some on the floor. Let's take 'em out the back door. Gonna take 'em out back, dump 'em in the river. Take 'em out back and throw 'em in the woods. Take 'em out back and chuck 'em down the hillside. Keep the front yard looking good. Keep the front yard looking good. I got to keep up with the neighborhood.
Isn't it funny that I need to explain that that was irony? And the reason that I have to explain that that was irony is because of this. I'll give you a second to read that there. This was forwarded to me by some folks in a bluegrass band from the Washington, D.C. area that recorded the song years ago on a CD. And one of their, I'll call them ex-fans, sent them this email. They were nice enough to forward it to me. So Chris Elliott, if you're watching this one is for you. Before I sing it, since Chris requested this song, if you have any requests for future shows, please, by all means, drop them into the comments, and I will review them all later. I'd also love to know where you're watching from. If you put that in the comments, I'd appreciate it. Here's a song I haven't played in many, many years. Bear whiskey killed young Tom Green. Bear whiskey from the still.
came out behind the chicken shack, and just up top the hill, his friends were coming over like they would to quench their thirst. Before any of them could get there, Tom thought he'd taste them first. Well, Tom Green, he was well liked, even by the law. Oh, sure, he had his run-ins, but no real character flaws. Sheriff left the keys to the lockup on the table, where a sober man could reach him just as soon as he was able. Bear whiskey killed young Tom Green, though his was usually good. People'd come from miles around to get some if they could. But ever since Tom left us, most folks have dumped their stash. The odd bottle that might turn up will fetch a bunch of cash. Tom Green's whiskey put a good shine on the moon. They kept some underneath the table at all the reputable saloons. Some nights there'll be a light on Tom Green's old little shack. Smoke comes from the chimney, but the snow won't have any tracks. There's been no investigation, sheriff will not step inside. They say the man went sober the day young Tom Green died. Bear whiskey killed young Tom Green. He cooked the stuff himself. He'd gotten into bottling it for everybody else. Well, they don't know what got into it, how long it took to die. His thirsty friends, they found him when they came for their supply. Tom Green's whiskey put a good shine on the moon. They kept some underneath the counter, all the reputable saloons.
I think that one is off of my radio CD. It's probably been 20 plus years since I sang that one last. I want to sing you a newish song. As you know, if you have been listening to my music for a while, I have been writing songs about the Holocaust with the intention of putting them all on a CD someday soon. And this newest song of mine is a very special one to me. It's about a woman named Ava Core Moses who lost her family at the concentration camp, I believe Auschwitz. And Ava and her sister were experimented on medically. Many, many years later, she attended the trial of an SS guard who had 300,000 counts of accessory to murder that he was facing. And this is what happened at the trial. It's called The Face That You Remember.
Today's the day you used to wonder if you would ever live to see. They finally brought the man to justice. What kind of justice will there be? Nobody knew a thing about him. He never talked about his past. It was a shock to all the neighbors when it caught up to him at last. He changed his name in Argentina. He grew a beard and dyed his hair, bought a farm and raised a family, and even they were unaware. It's not the face that you remember, it's not the one that you despise. Today he's frail and he's remorseful, no skull and crossbones in his eyes. Today he's in his early 90s, and just a week ago he fell. Some want for him to die in prison, some wish he'd just go straight to hell. He sits and listens to the charges. He does not offer a defense. He does not say he followed orders. He doesn't claim his innocence. He looks at you and not the jury. They will decide if he should live. He cannot ask you to forgive. You practiced how you would confront him. You thought you came to seek revenge. You thought that he was less than human. He used to look through that same lens. But when he whispered he was sorry, the only words that he would speak, it was the justice that you came for. You let him kiss you on the cheek. Today he's in his early 90s, and just a week ago he fell. Someone for him to die in prison, someone should just go straight to hell. But when he whispered he was sorry, the only words that he would speak, it was the justice that you came for. You let him kiss you on the cheek.
So, a couple things I want to tell you about here. One is patreon.com, if you're not already familiar with it. It's a platform where you can support your favorite artists on a monthly basis. You can pledge any amount that you wish. Some people have different tiers. I don't have any tiers. Everybody has equal access to the things that I share there, such as rough drafts to new songs, videos, and audio recordings of brand new songs, things I don't share elsewhere. I was just in the recording studio last week, and I shared what I recorded that day with my patrons. Also have periodic Zoom hangouts with my patrons, where we just get together on Zoom and folks can request songs. We can just chit-chat, get to know each other. It's a fantastic platform, and maybe you'll check it out. There's also one other thing that I'd like to tell you about. Many of you know that I lead group tours to Ireland. I have dates now for my 2022 tours. I also have rescheduled my 2021 Scotland tours. There are 3 of them, and they have all been rescheduled for 2022. Let me show you this here. These are the dates. If you're interested, contact me via my website. You can read more about this at my website, chuckbrodsky.com. Just look for the item at the top that says Ireland Scotland Tours. It explains the cost and how much is required for a deposit. These tours sell out very quickly. If you're interested in going, which I hope you'll join me on one of these tours, get in touch soon. You could also email me directly, chuck@chuckbrodsky.com. I sing this for all my musician friends.
For the kindness of strangers, I'll often give thanks. Some have fed me and clothed me, some have filled up my tanks. Some have taken me inside their humble abodes, giving me sanctuary out on this goddamn blessed road. It all fit in a backpack with a sturdy metal frame, and my map had routes to everywhere, so I underlined some names. I could have walked to China, I had that lighter load. Nearly weightless when I set out on this goddamn blessed road. I banded with some gypsies, they had a little camp, and a garbage fire to keep warm by, from the cold and from the damp. They taught me about honor, they handed down the code, which I have always tried to live by on this goddamn blessed road. The picture was in black and white till color came one day. And then almost as if right before my eyes, the truth, it became gray. And answers became questions. I put my faith in the unknown, and I've trusted it to lead me down this goddamn blessed road. A lot of good books have been written, you can read every one. You can take notes and recite quotes as proof you got your reading done. So many interpretations of the words of the ultimate poet, who inspires me to write my own on this goddamn blessed road. Now magic happens sometimes, things will just appear. Some gone in an instant, but their memories are dear. My heart, it gets heavy, my legs, they get bold. Hauling on my riches away down this goddamn blessed road. Now billboards tell you where to go, and others tell you what to do. So you're left with having to decide for yourself what might be right or wrong for you. My one and only question is how to know, how to know. From all the answers people have for you out on this goddamn blessed road.
I have two more songs for you. This next one is about a friend of mine. Her name was Rachel Bissix, and she passed away, I believe, in 2006, if I'm not mistaken. Now, Rachel was a singer-songwriter, and I was able to make it to the celebration of her life up in Vermont. I think it may have been up in Burlington. I'm not positive about that. But what I remember distinctly from that day is that there was this pulpit, and on that pulpit was a guitar stand with Rachel's guitar in it, and it was the only thing up there. Everybody who spoke that day, everybody who sang that day did so from the floor in front of the pulpit, and that guitar stood there all afternoon, all by itself. And I couldn't take my eyes off of it, and I couldn't stop thinking about that guitar. Couldn't stop thinking about how it had lost its best friend, and I want to show you its best friend. That was Rachel at the Kerrville Folk Festival. So, this is called Rachel's Guitar.
Rachel's guitar was out of its case on the pulpit where cards and flowers were placed. Weak and exhausted, propped on a stand, homesick and lonely for Rachel's hands. Rachel's guitar looked around for its friend and for the songs I'll never play again. It ached for the way she would make it ring. That was maybe the most heartbreaking thing. Rachel's guitar looked totally lost behind the line that nobody crossed. Its voice was mute and it had gone numb since the last time that Rachel was able to strum. Rachel's guitar went back in its case to be laid to rest and to take up space. After the friends and the family left, it was taken back home, well, gently it wept. Well, a sweet old guitar, it will have many lives. Now this one sleeps till the next one arrives. Somebody takes it out of its case, and they can't put it down for the rest of their days. And they can't put it down for the rest of their days. And they can't put it down.
Thank you all so much for watching today. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. I'll be back next week for my 35th weekly live stream. Don't forget, if you have any requests, please put them in the comments. Also, please let me know where you're watching from. Any tips today will be greatly appreciated. I want to finish off with a song I always like to play at the end. I'd like to dedicate this to my parents.
Well, I hope I see you later, 'cause it's time for me to go. That's my ride that just put over, and it sure was good to know you. So go answer your calling, go and fill somebody's cup. If you see an angel falling, won't you stop and help them up? We are each other's angels, and we meet when it is time. We keep each other going, and we show each other signs. Sometimes you'll stumble, sometimes you'll just lie down, sometimes you get lonely with all these people around. You might shiver when the wind blows, and you might get blown away. You might lose a little color, you might lose a little faith. We are each other's angels, and we meet when it is time. Keep each other going, and we show each other signs. So thank you for the water. Thought I was gonna die out here in the desert, but you quenched my thirst. Let's break a little bread together. Got a little manna. It was a gift from someone who was passing by and offered me a lift. We are each other's angels, tongue-tied, and we meet when it is time. We keep each other going, always show each other signs.
Stay well, stay safe. Thank you again. See you next time.